There we go. Alrighty.
Are we live, dude?
I think we're live.
Oh
we're
my
going live.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's
We should get streaming up, dude. Anyways,
like live streaming.
Welcome to live streaming. Welcome to episode 4 of Owlcast, the Foothill College unofficial podcast.
Unofficial.
Also unofficial name. We're still ironing out the name and logo. We just got a cool logo. Shouts out to Daniel for designing that. It's pretty cool. You should go check us out on youtube.com. Owlcast is the name of the channel. I'm talking really softly. I don't know why. Arian Foster got me talking like this,
yeah,
dude.
that was a good podcast. Good
Okay.
episode. Definitely.
Yeah. So
dude.
let's see what we start with. Let's start with something social situations. Yeah, we had a really good conversation in the car.
It's been an interesting week for sure.
It's been an interesting week,
Coming
yeah.
back from Model UN, which was an interesting social event. We went to San Francisco.
It's crazy that was last week.
That was
It's bizarre, man. College goes by so fast.
Exactly.
Quarter system goes by so fast.
Yeah,
It's a huge contrast to high school. Semester, it's crazy. It's like semester and quarter are so different. Different pace. Yeah, but which one do you like better?
I think I'm liking quarter, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that. Me too. I mean, you can take more classes.
I like semester because you really get to form connections with
Yeah.
people you have classes
Yeah,
with.
totally.
That's cool too. But quarter, yeah, I don't know.
Quarter is
I like
weird.
it. It's interesting.
It's crazy, yeah. It seems so much faster than semester. You get in like a nice rhythm.
Yeah,
Like I remember, oh my god, we're like what 10th week now. We got 2 more weeks of the quarter left. We got one more. Do we have one more week and then finals week or something?
Exactly. Last week this is last week of regular class.
No, I think maybe we have 2 more. We have 2 more weeks of regular classes. I think. Yeah, we have 2 more weeks. But yeah, I remember like just thinking like 3rd weekend, 4th weekend, like okay, like it's picking up a bit. I gotta grind now. Like it picks up right away. You probably have like maybe a couple of days of ramp up. Then it picks up right away, and then I was thinking like, whoa, I really gotta grind now. And then by the time I've like established my rhythm, it's already like the 9th, 10th week, and I'm like, wow, it's almost done.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, it finishes
Goes by
really
so
quick.
fast, yeah. But I do like it. You gotta take more classes, meet more people. It's definitely a different. Teachers have a different vibe to the classes. It's semester you can get pretty comfortable. There are lulls in the semester for sure, but I don't think there's many lulls in the quarter system.
Yeah, the quarter's
once midterms hit, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then you got to rest, and then finals. So
Totally.
yeah, but let's talk about social situations, and let's talk about kind of breaking into. So Ebrahim and I are both transferring. So we've been thinking about this a lot, like breaking into cliques, kind of like that process.
While being yourself, like that kind
while being
of balance,
genuine. Yeah.
Between like, especially when you're approaching a new group, and like you want to maintain like your personality, or like you want to come off as authentic, but you still want to put yourself out there, and that's an interesting like challenge, or an interesting like situation to be in.
Totally.
We've been in MUN was definitely one. And
oh yeah.
the beach
little
was a good day
microcosm
today.
of that. Yeah.
We were out in Half Moon Bay with some people from Foothill.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's a weird balance, I think. But yeah, I remember when I first came to Foothill, I joined student government, ASFC, just kind of as a way to make friends. I was never really involved in student government. This guy did student government senior year of high school. Environmental commissioner, baller. But yeah, I remember I just kind of joined because I wanted to make friends, and it was, I've made some really good friends in the group, and they're very cool people. But I remember at first it was super hard to like infiltrate those cliques. When people have like established friend groups, I think they're a little bit more reluctant to invite new people in. So I think it's definitely like a struggle. But Ebrahim and I were talking earlier in the car about kind of like our tactics for doing that, and kind of like just how to have a good mindset about it. I think the biggest thing is just like putting yourself out there. At least for me, I just kept, it's easy to get like mentally exhausted from always pushing to infiltrate a clique, or get to know people who already know each other pretty well. And I think the biggest deal is just kind of like pushing through that and like persevering. I think it's really easy to like check out. I think that's like the biggest thing for me. Like if I'm in a social situation that I'm like not super comfortable with, like I'm not like hanging out with you or like some of my close friends where I don't really have to worry too much of what I'm doing. It's super easy to check out once you get like a cue, or you get some sort of sign from someone that you're not super comfortable. There's some sort of like disconnect, and it's super easy to just say, okay, I'm just gonna go home, or I'm gonna check out mentally, and just kind of go through the motions, and that's not how you really make bonds. I think I kind of think of it as like there's like an activation energy to like getting to know someone, and you have to like get through that awkward phase first, and then you can become comfortable after. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
So I remember, I think it was 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember this. We went to the beach with Lucas Dorward and Paula and
Yeah, I totally remember that.
yeah, and I remember. So yeah, it was 2 years ago, and I remember
Panther Beach, right?
Yeah, I think it was Panther
barbecue
Beach.
and stuff.
It was a good time, but I remember like feeling that kind of like that feeling where like I didn't really know how to break into the group. And I remember at that time, like, I hadn't really experienced that, like, before I went to college and everything. And I was, like, super, and I really wanted to check out. I was, like, I remember sleeping that night, and I was, like, I'm just going to dip, like, right away. Because I didn't feel comfortable at all. And even today, I definitely felt some of that. Mm-hmm. But I think I've gotten better at, like, putting into perspective and, like, looking at it as, like, a training exercise. Yeah. And, like, sometimes you're just not going to be in the mood to, like, be really social or whatever. But I think whereas previously I might have, like, overreacted to that or, like, really thought, like, I'm cool with, like, I don't know, like, it's just, like.
You, like, don't let yourself get worked up.
It's a very temporary thing. It's only, like, 2 or 3 hours and you go back to your normal life.
Totally.
And it's good to put yourself in that situation, like,
yeah,
like
I mean, you have to.
Exactly.
You're not gonna like meet new people if you don't.
Yeah,
really. It's hard. I totally know what you mean.
And like, I could just like go of everything like go to jiu-jitsu, go to school, like go to the YMCA, like all those places where like, I guess like, I've kind of
established yourself.
I've already established myself. Yeah. People know me. I'm really comfortable in those places. But and it's tough like doing it. But I think just viewing it as like a training exercise. And, like, not taking it to, like, just understanding that it's very temporary. And, like that's what I was thinking. I was at the beach, and I was, like, I wasn't having, like, the best. Like, I love you guys. But, like, I was just, like, I don't know. Yeah. I was just, like, being quiet. It's a day. Out of all your life, it's a day.
Totally.
And then you go home.
It's just, like, perspective.
Yeah, and then now you have at least you can, like, look over the day and see.
Totally.
Okay, because you want to get to a place where you can, like, engineer feeling good and engineer feeling, like, being, like, really... Like, at least be able to have a good time. And you're not going to be able to get to that place unless you go through those moments.
I mean, like, you now you have an experience that you can look back and analyze a bit. And, like, obviously you don't want to overanalyze and everything. But I think going back to what you're saying, I think a big thing to, like, not... Like, I used to stress over, you know... in high school, like, oh, you know, was that, like, over every single little social situation, I would, like, overanalyze them, be like, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Did I do the thing that is going to make them like me the most? I was really about, like, my image, my reputation. I didn't really know who I was, so I was trying to, like, just kind of please everyone, make everyone happy, and, like, connect with everyone. That's, like, an exhausting way to live, and I think a good distinction, like, a good thing to remember is that, like, people don't notice when you're like thinking like this, and people don't like today, like I didn't notice at all, and I had times today too, you know, when I feel like a little uncomfortable with people, you know, I'm not as close with different people in the group or something, and you know, I you know, so I know some people who, and I've definitely felt this way too, who, you know, you're in a group and it's totally comfortable, right? You know, they're very good in groups, but then as soon as you're left one-on-one with a single person, if you're not very close to that person, they just start freaking out, and then you don't know what to do. And I've totally been in that situation where I'm comfortable in a group, but then one-on-one with someone, I'm just, you know, there's like a disconnect. I've got like a mental block about interacting with them, and I just, you know, I freak out a bit. I don't know what to say or something. Then I start overthinking. But in reality, like, people don't notice when you're not feeling good, and I think that's like a big thing for people to realize. Like, just remind yourself, like, if you're, you know, overthinking and stuff, like, I try to remind myself, like, they probably don't even realize, like, what I'm doing. Like, and yeah, and like you said, like, you gotta, like, take it, like, objectively. That's super hard, like, but take these, like, experiences, like, objectively, I think, and, like I try to, I always, like, overthink stuff, and I always get stressed. It's so much easier said than done. I always, like, stress over, like, stupid, like, little social interactions and stuff, but yeah, it's really a training. At the end of the day, like, it's not gonna make or break anything. You know, it's not like a huge deal. No one interaction in your life is a huge deal. You're gonna have millions of interactions with people. You've got tons of days to live, and like, you just look at it as like a training exercise. You look back on the day and you say, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like, you don't want to get too trivial on yourself, but like, you can say, okay, maybe, I think on a macro scale, you can say, okay, maybe I didn't challenge myself enough. So yeah, I guess I'm like kind of going on a ramble here, but like going back to that, like, you don't want to be super trivial on yourself. You don't want to say like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said this joke or something. You know, made them laugh. Like, oh, I missed, like, you know, I used to always do that. Like, be like, oh, I could have said that. That would have been so funny or something. And then I stress over it. But I think it's really just like looking at it as like a macro and like a training level. Like saying like, oh, I could have put myself out a bit more. I could have, you know, not shied away in that occasion or something like that. It's more like, it's like a different kind of like looking back. It's not like nitpicking yourself. It's more like pushing yourself to grow. And I think, I
think one thing that I've always thought about a lot is like, how do you judge yourself, right? Like, on what metrics do you judge yourself? And if you're gonna judge yourself based on your performance in a like social atmosphere, or your performance in like a conversation, like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You're validating your self-worth and your identity basically based on these little moments. And a lot of the times you don't have like full control over those moments. I think this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. I'm not sure if it's like what I try to do is like, I try to just judge myself based on my intention. So if like I'm intending to be a good person and I'm intending to like put myself in these situations, like there's not much else I can do based off of that, right? So I think if you have those values of like, and it's super cheesy, but like if you're trying to be nice to people, and if you're like trying to like push yourself and you're trying to grow and you're trying to learn new things, then really I think that's what you should judge yourself on. And that's how like you should feel good about yourself if you're doing those things, if you have those proper like values instilled. And then then it becomes a lot easier to like have a good self-worth or whatever, because otherwise it's always going to be dependent on and I obviously like you're definitely going to feel better if you do well in those situations as well, but it's good to like separate.
So you're setting like almost like lower expectations for yourself. Like you said, you're taking the pressure off yourself because your intentions, there's no like closure to intentions. You're not like setting like a specific goal or like an outcome. You're just saying, as long as it's like going back to like a previous episode when we're talking about just like putting yourself in those uncomfortable positions. It's just like putting yourself out there. It's like putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations socially, and it's like that's all tied back to intentions. It's not actually like outcomes. You're not saying like, okay, I'm gonna make this person laugh. You're not holding yourself to that standard because you don't know what you can't control other people. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, it's just
totally
about
agree.
It's about worrying about what you can control, and you can control your intentions, and you can't always control your execution sometimes, because you know we're not perfect beings. We're all working on stuff. We're all growing to be better people. So yeah, you can't. Sometimes you're gonna mess up. Sometimes you're not gonna always be perfect in social situations or be perfect in like a public speaking setting. And like intentions, you can still have the right intention. I think that's something that you can always stick to. Did you have anything else? Sorry, just totally cut you.
No, totally. I think that's like, I don't know. I think one of the big things is like, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a weak connection, but like the way you view like humans and stuff, like the way you judge humans and stuff. Like I think, and I've written about this a little bit, but like the way I like to judge humans is like that we're all really like we all have really the same intentions. We all want to be liked. We all want to like as we go on, we all like realize it's important to be nice to people. We all want to have good relationships or jobs or careers, and it's like it's a very like interesting journey almost. And like once you realize that, I guess, and like some people are just like basically diseased individuals where they just like their thinking becomes like a bit off, and they don't know what's like good for them or whatever.
Totally.
But really they want the same thing as you. They want to be happy and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I go through stuff like this, like I'll go home and I'll just like feel shitty, or I'll be like, I don't know. But then when I think of it like that, when I think of it like we're all just like trying to get to this point, I don't know. It just like makes me feel a bit different. Makes me feel like less like harsh on myself.
I know exactly what you mean. I totally agree. This was like something that I was thinking about last week or something, like super recently. I totally agree with that idea. I'd never really thought about that idea. I think as this year went on, this year has been like crazy for me, like just like eye opening in terms of like being compassionate to myself, and like having this like growth, like trying to have like a growth mindset, just trying to be like better to myself, take better care of my like mental state. And I think totally, like people all have like similar intentions, and unless like you have like a mental illness, or you have some sort of some sort of like dissonance in your mind where it's like kind of clouding your your actual like perception of the world, I think. And like, yeah, once you realize that everyone's kind of in on the same journey, the same struggles, like people have been through the same situations, you know. No one's born like socially perfect, you know. It's all a learned process. Some people are raised in families that are very social, you know, very family oriented families. You're always interacting with cousins or something, and like maybe those people, you know, have a head start, but like social skills are just that. They're skills. Like you can totally develop them. It's not like you're not born awkward or something, you know. It's like something you can develop. And I think once you realize that, once you realize that everyone's, trying to be, not trying to be liked, but trying to be themselves, trying to find their purpose, trying to get fulfillment, trying to be happy, you realize that, you know, you take the pressure off yourself totally. It's not like you against the world anymore. You're not the only one having these thoughts that stress you out. And I think another big thing I heard on another podcast like last week, it was like try to hold other people, try to give other people the benefit of the doubt. So, you know, if someone does something to you that, you know, you don't like, taking it personally can ruin your day. You know, I used to do this all the time. You know, if someone said something to me that was even remotely, you know, I could take it as like a diss or something, I would take it as a diss and I would take it personally. And it would just ruin my day. I would get all down on myself. I'd start overthinking. I think just like giving people the benefit of doubt, like people sometimes don't always say the right things, you know, they might slip up or their intentions aren't always, you know, maybe they're having a bad day and they're just taking it out on you. They don't actually mean it. And like, I think just having that mindset like can save a lot of stress in life.
I think that's like a really good point. I think when I was at Cal Poly or during the times in my life has been the toughest is when it's almost during the times that internally in my life has been the toughest have been when I like see the world in the worst light. Mm-hmm. And so like I'll like see a text in a light, I'll give it that light, or like I'll see a comment and then when the momentum is good and when mm-hmm. things are like what I've realized is like being bitter or like or even
you've
holding
talked about bitterness,
like
how bad bitterness
I used to be so bitter, bro. Like I remember after senior year during the summer, like I was so bitter toward people, and I was like, you know, I was negatively motivated. I was like, you know, like just wait till like they see like I'm gonna work so hard and I'm gonna get to this place and then they're gonna see like they're like, you know, like that kind of thinking. Totally. I feel like that just like drains you a ton. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just good to be like more positively motivated. Yeah. And totally. Just like benefit of the doubt, just like you were saying. Like don't like who if somebody like if you feel like it was like just like it's just gonna ruin your it's just gonna catapult. Yeah. And I think like sometimes when you're going through that negative catapult, it's good to just like chill out, count to like 10 seconds, and just like take a breather. Yeah, totally. And then just realize, okay, and then start your day again. Yeah. And then you'll start being a bit back to normal, I think.
Going back to the bitter thing, I totally agree with that. I love that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I love that. But like it's like almost I read something on Quora. Quora's great, honestly. Like for self-help, oh my gosh, it's so good because it's like very condensed answers from very like reliable sources, and like there's a lot of like life coaches or something on it. But I like it, you know. But I read something on Quora that was like when you do that, when you know, I'm up against the world, like, oh, I'm gonna show them or something, or you know, you start stressing about what other people think of you. You're giving them power over you. And their perceptions, it's like so much power, and you're giving a lot of your life energy and your energy that you can be spent on thinking about other things to them. So it's like almost as if, and they're probably leading their own lives, or maybe they're giving their power to someone else too. And like you have no control over what they're gonna think or what they're gonna do. So why give the power to them when you can give the power to yourself? And that's so much easier said than done. All this stuff that we're saying is so much easier said than done. But it's just like trying to focus that power back to yourself and like. That's kind of cheesy, but like, you know, you're not worrying about what other people think because it's out of your control. And I think going back to oh gosh, lose my train of thought, man.
I'm just going back to that. I think for me, a lot of the thing was like I felt like, let's say like me and you had an interaction, right? And I felt like you kind of ignored me. Mm-hmm. For me, like 2 years ago, for me it would have been like
I would take that so seriously.
I would have been like I need to get back at this person. That or like not I wouldn't have like done something directly. I know but I would like next conversation I'm gonna kind of like I would have that would have been where my mind.
I know what you mean.
And then that's like a terrible place for your mind
focus
to go.
is just not where it should be. It's not like I don't want to say healthy because that's, people have different
definitely.
ways of thinking, but it's like not the most efficient, not the most productive, not the most energy efficient.
You want to make that guy feel like the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
Let's say you have like a really close friend and they just like don't pay attention to you, and then your initial reaction is like, ooh, I really want to make him feel the way I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But really, the better thing to do is just let it go.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do
because
for some reason, like your brain wants to like
Yeah.
inflict the same, like
Uh-huh.
it wants to like give it back. It's almost like when you get like in sparring and Muay Thai, whenever you get clipped, you have this immediate reaction.
Yeah, that's why you got to
try to get back
count
at the
to
dude.
10 or something. Because if you get back at him, you mess up, you get knocked out or something.
And there's drama and like
it's like
just
emotion.
Let it go.
Yeah. Oh
just
my
let
gosh.
it's fine. Just take the hit.
I
Absorb
totally
the hit,
know what you mean.
and then
I had
move
such a
on.
problem with that, and I think that's like part of growing up. You just gotta, that's like that's so relevant for so many people. In soccer, I used to be like kind of hot headed. And I like normally like outside of soccer I was like pretty timid because I was pretty timid because I didn't want to piss people off because I was always insecure about that. It's definitely a pride thing. But I remember like getting little scuffles with soccer. I mean, I even like got in a little scuffle with my teammate once like in high school, and I felt so bad. These things, it's almost like anger management issues, but not really. I don't know. It was just like, yeah, it's like a pride thing. Someone takes a stab at your pride, you want to hit them right back. But if you just take like 5-10 seconds to just like calm yourself down, you realize like it's like a cloud in your vision. But like when you look back, I remember looking back on some of those times like the next day and feeling like absolute crap because I was like, I don't want to do that. And segueing into that, it's like we were talking in the car, like one of the worst feelings for me is like doing something to someone that just doesn't reflect who I want to be or who I am. Like even if I don't know who I am, it's like who I want to be. I'm like, oh, like why did I say that? That's so mean. Like that's not me. It's like even if like what if I'm a mean person?
Though. I think you need that pain.
You need that
to realize
it's like a guilt.
You're going off the path.
Yeah,
and then it brings you back on.
And I'm glad I feel that. I guess because maybe some people, oh my god, but it is stressful. But it's like even if you're like
the fact that you feel that pain so intensely is what lets you be like you're so good at being yourself. Is because like every time you go off, then it's like a very big thing in your brain.
But yeah, I remember in high school though, like going off of that, like learning how to be yourself. It's like I didn't even know how to be myself really. I didn't really have like a strong sense of identity. And like so I wouldn't really know. I just would know like if someone wasn't gonna like me, and that's what would trigger that sense. And I'd be like, oh, like that's not me because they're not gonna like me. But like so there is some like dissonance there. You got like it's a fine line between like saying like, oh, that's not me because you're gonna piss people off, because you're always gonna piss people off. You can't please everyone. That takes too much energy. And so like but I hate that feeling when you do something to someone and you're like, that is not me. And I think that when I was feeling like super down when I went off to Carnegie Mellon and like in one of my lowest times, I thought I stopped the recording for a second, and I just remember like thinking like I have nothing to fall back on because I didn't know who I was. I didn't have that strong sense of identity, that strong sense of self. And I think that's like so important to be successful, like knowing yourself, being self-aware, like just knowing what you react to negatively so that maybe you can overcome that. Maybe you can put yourself in that situation, like building that trust within yourself. Gosh, so many ideas are coming to me right now. What the heck? But like, it's like, I didn't know who myself was, but I think like now I have like a little bit better sense of myself. I've like explored myself a bit. I've like been through some like harder stuff, at least relative to me. So I've started to pick up on like what I react to negatively, what I react to positively, like what relaxes me, that type of thing. And so I have like some stuff to fall back on, right? Because like if I'm feeling really crappy, at least for me, I've noticed that like I don't really know how to be myself as well, but I do know my values because I've started to learn those a bit. So I can kind of just fall back on my values. If I'm like having a really bad day, I'm really anxious because I got a bad grade on my test or something, or my friend, I'm in a fight with my friend or something, and I'm going throughout my day trying to interact with people and trying to connect with people, or maybe not trying to connect with people. And I don't know how to act because I'm feeling bad. So, my mind isn't in the present moment. So like having those values to fall back on, I've found like can kind of get me back on track, and just like sticking to my values for a little bit until it starts looking up again. And then I can start, just acting without second guessing kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I totally agree with the whole values thing. And I think going back to like the whole like being authentic to yourself, and I think like you want to like attract like good things to you. Like I don't know like there's probably not that much science behind this, but I really feel like there's like a relationship between like the ability of you that you have to let things go, or the ability you have to like just like be nice, and like those little interactions over and over again, and then you like start sending off like a better energy to people, and then like better stuff. Like the world just starts responding.
The law of attraction.
Yeah,
that's like a big thing. A lot of people talk about that.
I don't know, like
it's like
I know it's like
you receive the energy that you give.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's like pseudoscience, but like.
But you kind of make it true.
On a macro scale, it's pseudoscience, but like if you think about it, like if you're being nice to someone, like if you really dumb it down, if you're being nice to someone, they'll probably be nice to you. So it's just like that, and it builds out from that. It's a whole web of like positive energy towards things and people, and I think I totally agree with that. I think that's so true, because like I think humans, we're naturally like empathetic. We naturally want to connect. Going back to like everyone's on that same journey. People want to connect with people. I think even like, you know, introverts or people who claim they don't like people, you know, like people really want to, you know, that might stem from really like being lonely as a child or something. People want to connect with people, I think. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone, but like, yeah, like I think if you're nice to people, you know, it kind of shows like, it builds that trust with someone, you know, it kind of, you're lowering your walls to purposely be nice to maybe like a stranger or someone, so they'll be nice back to you. I think a lot of like interactions with people, there's like these invisible barriers, these invisible mental blocks and social stigmas, and like interpersonal stigmas where people don't want to get out of their comfort zone and don't want to make, you know, start talking to someone because they feel weird, because it's like the way our society works or something. Like you can't go up to some random person and just start having a conversation with them, really. And like maybe that's okay, because maybe that's a little weird just like in our society, but like I think there's definitely mental blocks. That's why you have to like get over that when you're first meeting people. That's like the activation energy. I like to think. I don't know. It's like that first like awkward period. You know, the first like couple months when you meet someone. Like there's like awkward.
Yeah, definitely.
Some like
it's
weird. It's a
weird
energy,
thing, dude. You first meet someone, and then the first couple of months are always like.
I'm always like super stressed out or something. If I'm like and then really trying to establish myself.
After a couple of months, it just starts flowing, and that's a great feeling too. Once you like hit that stage with somebody.
Totally, I think going back to like. Falling back like on your values, if you're feeling bad, like I've noticed that like building like little starting like little habits that like develop like trust in yourself. For me, I was kind of like really I could really fake confidence well in high school, but I wasn't like actually confident. And going off to college, that just like compounded because I was away from home. I didn't have my social net, my support net. I didn't have my family. I didn't have any of that. Nothing was familiar. So, you know, I like that unconfidence. It was a lot harder to fake. And I think like coming back, like I was like super demoralized, super dejected, just unmotivated, not very confident because of my whole experiences not being confident and like how I reacted to it. I just didn't react to it the way myself now would have liked, but like I'm so glad it happened. But like just building these little trust in yourself, I've noticed like really helps with confidence, because like for example, your alarm rings, like are you gonna snooze or are you just gonna wake up? Or you're in class, are you gonna raise your hand or are you gonna shy away and let someone else ask a question that you're too scared to ask for? It's like just doing these things, there's a lot of these like little split second decisions in life that like you could go one way or the other, but if you go the bad way, that can just kind of compound, and then next time you're 50% or some arbitrary number less likely to make a good decision in the future, and then it just compounds until 100% of the time you're making the decision that's not really pushing yourself, not best for you. And I think like a big thing for my confidence was I wasn't trusting, I'm still not sure, but like I wasn't like trusting of myself to put myself out there, get myself in uncomfortable situations or in social situation. I wasn't like confident that I would react in the best way. But now that I've like started to do those things, I can like kind of trust my future self. You know, it's almost like if I ever get into this situation, you know, maybe I have to give like an impromptu toast or something at my brother's wedding or something. It's like I trust myself that it'll be fine, so I'm not worrying about that. So it's saving like a lot of stress. So it's like a big thing with like trusting myself kind of thing to be confident, and like that like has helped me a lot. Obviously, I'm not there yet at all, and I think it's not rare, but it's not. I think more often than not, you'll meet people that aren't confident, or like not like completely aren't confident, but are more unconfident than not.
What do you normally do when like? Because I think I read this a neuroscience study, and it was like about how we all have natural highs and lows, and they're almost like programmed in our brains. Like there's nothing you can really like. As you grow older and you get better, you definitely get better at like dealing with those highs and lows, and maybe the lows have
Let
less.
me just check that real quick.
Yeah,
'Cause that was an interesting sound.
yeah, that was.
It might have just died.
Okay.
Hello. What the fuck?
You showing?
I think is it show recording? I don't know. I mean, it might have. Oh, I don't think it was recording. I think it probably just stopped then.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It's back.
We're showing.
Yeah, we're chilling. Okay.
All right, sweet.
We still got the audio.
Yeah.
That's what really matters. But they want to see the PJs, the Star Wars. Oh, I should have worn mine too.
We have that matching twin set.
Yeah. The twin set. We bought the twin discount.
Kohl's, right?
Yeah.
But what do you normally do when you're hitting that, when you realize you're kind of hitting that like lower hill?
Yeah.
And like you're very because I'm
gosh.
sure from this point you're probably self-aware that.
No.
What do you? What do you like try to tell yourself during those like situations?
Oh god, that's something I've been thinking about a lot. Cause like last quarter I hit a lot of highs and lows because I was still like, it was first time being in school for like 6 months ish. So I was like, starting to figure it out again, figure myself out. But this quarter, like, yeah, I've been worried. I've been like thinking, almost like worried about it. Like, oh, like when I start recognizing myself, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't even know. But I think for me, I've started to develop like some things that I do, and I've more developed like ways to like keep the momentum going. So like even just avoid starting to dip down into one of those natural lows. But obviously you can never avoid them altogether because that's gonna happen. But you can kind of mitigate them a bit. And I've just like developed some like routines and like it's big. I think for my personal, everyone has like their own things that makes them tick, right? But for me, what makes me tick is like waking up early, getting enough sleep, which is so important, which I did not appreciate in high school at all. So I always try to get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So these are the more like preventative measures to make sure I don't get there. Because I honestly don't know how I'd react once I get there. Because this quarter I haven't yet like gotten to that point. Last quarter I did, and I just kind of like either moped around or forced myself to go out. Like I wasn't, I didn't have that trust. So like I am not trusting myself to know exactly, I would always push myself to go out or I'd always mope around. So I don't really know. It's like kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, just like dude, cold showers has like been amazing, dude. It's like changed my life almost. It's crazy. My shower doesn't even go that cold. It goes like 50 degrees.
The YMCA shower.
But like, oh yeah, but like it starts out really cold, so I just like kind of stand under there and like turn it on.
You feel so refreshed.
It's so it gives me so much energy. Because I used to notice like in high school especially, I'd be super tired when I woke up, like still like kind of groggy.
Yeah.
And I got really upset about that and really like frustrated with myself. I'm like, why am I so tired? Like there's something wrong with me. But like I think that's just how I am. Like I'm just kind of like naturally kind of like
when you wake up,
a little spacey or something. I don't know. Like, but like yeah, so I'm like a little tired. But like going in those cold showers like really wakes me up. It gets my blood pumping too. Like I feel like kind of jacked after. I don't even have to lift. No, I'm just kidding. But like I do. I feel like weird. I feel like I got a lot of like energy.
Yeah, no,
it's weird. Yeah, I love it, dude. It's so nice. Even though I need to get a colder shower. But yeah, and like. Also like it's like building that trust thing. It's like I know I'm gonna make myself do that cold shower every day, so it's like do you get what I'm saying with this trust thing? I feel like I'm not articulating it well.
So the trust thing, do you mean like because I remember when you first talked about the concept, it was like kind of like a mental toughness for you.
Yeah,
it was like kind of like it was a discipline thing almost where like
discipline.
You knew that you were gonna do it. Is that kind of where it's related to?
Yeah.
Where
like you just summed it up right there in 2 sentences. I've been trying to sum it up in a while.
I think that's
yeah. It's like mental toughness type thing. I thought it was like I'm spoiled, man. like I don't think I was very tough like throughout high school. And like you don't want to like be too hard on yourself. Like I gotta be tough all the time. Because it's important to have emotions and like feel them and totally like. But it's how you react to them. And I didn't react to things very well. I would quit things or I would mope around for like the whole day and waste a day or something. And like I don't want to do that. Like you can't do that. Once you get older, things get faster. Like you can't really afford to do that anymore.
Totally.
So like I was like, okay, I just need there was like a day I remember walking with my dad. And I'm not like super close to my dad, so I was just like trying to talk to him about like colleges and like whether I should go back to CMU, whether I should start playing soccer again. This was like maybe like right before I started Foothill, I think. It was like during the summer sometime. So it was like 4 months after I had left CMU.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, what do I do? Like why did I feel this way? Like, everyone else is like having a great time and all this stuff, and like I just like I thought like I was the only one, like all this like random like dissonance going on in my head. And I thought to myself, I was like, I just need to like toughen up and like stop like thinking all this negative stuff, because this isn't gonna help me. That's like the first step. And like obviously like I don't want to say you have to do that, because that's totally like, if you're feeling really bad, you shouldn't say that, because like that's not gonna help you. Like you got to take care of yourself. You got to be really compassionate to yourself. But like at that point, like I was just like whining about stuff that I like was out of my control, and like I just had to like bring myself back on track and say, okay, like do I want to like you said like in a previous episode, like you can either like keep going or like just stop. But like you can't stop. You just keep going. So I was like, okay, like why am I thinking about all these like things? I just need to keep going. So I said that, and then I slowly started to develop habits that kind of helped me with mental toughness. And I think the cold showers, although that's like kind of a fluffy thing, like it helps. And I think it's just like, I think of it like the day I don't take a cold shower in the morning, like they're obviously like if I'm not home or something, I'm not gonna take a cold shower. I don't know, if I'm like, if there's a shower that's like only warm, if I find something like that, I don't know, then I can't. I'm not gonna like hold myself accountable for that. But like if the day I don't take a cold shower is the day that I know I'm kind of dipping below, like going into a low, and then I need to like change something, because I'm like, oh, like I just want to take a warm shower, like it's gonna feel good. You know, that's the day when I'm like, like
those
something
habits like set in place, and
if I break them, then I know something's up. Because like I wasn't very good at like detecting whether I was gonna get into one of those lows. So that's like like an indicator for me. It's like Inception, him spinning the thingamajig, spinning the top, and you don't know.
Yeah,
it was like me, yeah. But yeah, and then like, what else? I'm trying to think. Well, I started like decorating my room a little bit.
Positive, you have a lot of positive stuff here, bro.
I try to like, yeah, because I never really, like, at CMU, I didn't really decorate my room, and, like, I just thought, like, oh, like, I'm a dude, I don't need to decorate my room or something. I try to put, like, a jersey up on my wall with, like, the tack stuff that you buy, like, so you don't ruin the wall, and it just, like, fell off, like, second day, and I just was too lazy to pick up, and, like, when I was packing up to leave, I, like, found it in, like, in the corner of the room, like, bunched up, and I was like, oh, shit, like, I've been looking for this. But, yeah, like, yeah, I just, like, try to put stuff up. I started making this, like, collage of, like, California, because, oh, my God, when I came back, I was like, oh, my God, like, I love California. As soon as I saw the Bay Area from the plane, I was, like, super homesick, too, so I was like, oh, it just, like, gave me some, like, life again. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was, like,
great
I was, like,
oh,
my God, it was, like, gave me so much good feeling. So I was, like, started making that, because I really like California. I think it's important to, like, remember the good times, because, like, I remember, like, when I felt really bad, like, it fucks with your memory. Excuse my language. Like... No, fuck it. Whatever. Freedom of speech. It messes with your memory. It messes with your memory. Like, I didn't remember a lot of good times. Like we were saying, like, humor and, like, connecting with people is all about making, like, little connections between, like, past experiences you have with something. Like, there's, like, you know, inside jokes. That's a great way to... I feel, like, really weird talking about all this stuff because people don't talk about it.
I feel, yeah.
But I'm glad we're talking about this stuff, because people should talk about it. It shouldn't be, like, stigmatized. I feel like...
I think it should be more open.
Yeah, I feel like society almost thinks it's weird when people overthink all this stuff. But it's, like,
I think it goes on in your head. If it goes on in your head a lot, you have this, like, weird inner dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. It's like your own little world in there.
Yeah, it is.
And you're always, thinking about this shit. And, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's, like, the next step to human connection is when you connect with somebody on that level.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, what's in your head comes out. I don't know. It's, like, a very interesting...
It is. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's... Yeah, we all create, like, little narratives and dialogues that are, like... I doubt there's a single person out there who sees the world as it is. Yeah. And it sees their role in it and their position in it and how other people see them as it is. Like, we all have our own, you know, distortions or maybe they're good distortions about how other people view us, how we view. It's weird, man.
What do you think?
A lot of mush going on in there.
What do you think? Like, you know how sometimes you wake up and you have that kind of like hollow feeling. Like, where do you think that's from?
Oh my god.
Do you think that's I've tried to attribute that. What's that?
Bad dreams.
Yeah, bad dreams. Or like, do you think that's like not having a big enough sense of purpose, or like why do we, like, what is that even? Like, why is it that sometimes we, and like, honestly, like, I kind of feel like that. But, like,
I know what you mean.
It's not even from sometimes you won't even do an action that creates that, like, different energy state. Like, you feel like an energy state, it's more hollow. But then when things are like, or sometimes you could feel an energy state which is like really full. And like those are like really weird things.
I know what you mean.
I don't understand that at all.
Energy is weird, dude. Like, Yeah, I mean, all these glands and stuff that release their fucking shit.
It's a weird
makes
thing.
You feel weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so it's like so subtle too. Like, yeah, let's talk about the hollow feeling first, and then I'll go into whatever I'm thinking. But like, yeah, it's weird. I had that a lot, especially I was interning at Nest, and like I would wake up and I would feel like either really anxious or really like hollow and empty, and I'd be like, why do I feel this way? And there was nothing I could do about it because I didn't know where it's coming from. I hate not knowing like where your feelings are coming from.
Then
that's
tough to fix it.
Big thing about self-awareness. Just realizing what you're feeling. You don't even have to necessarily know why. Just like the emotion that you're feeling, and like it helps to know why too. And I think like, yeah, I was just confused. Like, yeah, I would wake up and then I would just kind of just keep moving. I would get myself up, like wake up, take a shower, take a cold one, and then like put my clothes on, then go to work, and then as soon as I talked to people, it'd go away or something. As soon as I started my day, maybe like an hour later, it'd kind of like fade away and I'd forget about it. But yeah, it would happen like every morning or something. But like, yeah, there's like a subtle difference. I would get anxious a lot, cause especially seeing you kind of worked me up. I was like grinding all the time, like studying. I remember like when I didn't have work.
You're thinking about it.
You're just like thinking about it, or like you don't know how to like kind of chill out and like wind down.
I was like scared you're gonna miss something.
People always talk about like I need to wind down or something. Like adults are always like I need to wind down. I need to watch some Netflix. I like didn't know how to do that winding down. So when I would go out, I'd have that like nervous energy or something, which would like kind of get in my head. I'd start overthinking and all this, So like yeah, that like anxiety feeling in my chest. Like have you ever had that like that very uncomfortable kind of like yeah, I get that a lot, and like it's so close to like being very excited and being very like happy.
That is true.
It's like so close. It's like a very subtle difference, and I don't even know if it's like the feeling or it's like the way you perceive the feel. It's so weird. Yeah, that's why like
a lot of it has to do with perception of like whether you enjoy that state. Like whether
that's true.
Like, I feel like now
enjoying that state.
A lot of my life is chasing that state. Like man. Like April's gonna be my 5th jiu-jitsu tournament. Yeah. And like I know how I'm gonna feel when I step on the mat. And, like because I've done wrestling through high school, and like and it used to be such a shitty, but like for now it's like chasing that feeling. Yeah. When I give that speech to Toastmasters, like it is anxiety, but it's like it's a good thing. It's like fear can be fun almost sometimes.
Yeah, it can be.
Like jumping off the cliff today, that was like a fun thing.
Yeah, it is.
That kind of gives you
that other thrill stuff.
That weird. Yeah, what is fucking
fires
energy?
You up,
like,
dude.
I wonder if that could be like scientifically defined. Like if you could measure the energy in somebody's
so weird.
And like
it's just it's all hormones and
you think it's just hormones?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you think
it's a mixture of hormones and like synaptic.
I don't know. I wish we had an expert. Like documented the like quality.
Yeah.
Like something to like measure your hormone levels and like the way your neurons are firing. Yeah. And be like, okay, this is like.
Yeah. Like you gotta change that or something.
Then you can define it properly. Like
that's
we're so
fascinating,
behind in that
dude.
shit.
That's
like,
totally true.
We should be able to define that.
We're so behind. Like cognitive science is such a new field.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of research already in place, but like there's so much more to do. And I think I really want to do something with computer science and cognitive science.
I feel like the intersection of tech, because a lot of the things that I think I think self-development's really cool, but it can become a bit wish-washy and like we're even kind of talking about the same things.
It's like not as scientific as
there's not so much to learn. Like there's a topic of like how to deal with anxiety.
Yeah, and it's self-development's very sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
It's very like personalized. Like you kind of have to go through it yourself.
Yeah.
Almost like it's not like scientific. I mean, I think it's never gonna come to the point where someone's gonna give you like a
pill or whatever.
A pill or I shouldn't like, but like give you like a solution, not a pill, like a solution to something that's gonna fix all your problems.
It's an art. It's both
an
and like it's both an engineering thing and it's both an art of you kind of intuitively feeling when's the right time to do something.
Yeah.
How like do you think about how fucking fascinating decision making is?
Yeah.
Every day we're faced with these little decisions of should I say this in a conversation? Yeah. Should I take this class? And all those decisions compound, but it's
totally.
Like, and then
exactly.
Decision making is one of the most insane things.
You can break it down to like when you're developing stuff, you break it down to the very most fundamental decisions, right? That's what I'm talking about, like trust. Like I gotta trust that I'm gonna make the decision that's gonna benefit me the most. That's gonna make me feel I gotta be nice to my future self. I always think about like be nice to my future self. Like I could totally procrastinate, not do this assignment tonight, which I'd still procrastinate a shit ton. But like just an example, and then the next day, my future self is going to be super stressed out. I'm going to be worrying about that. I'm going to be worried about, I got more assignments coming up. It's all these things like that. Or it's like, I can't think of another example. But it's like, you got to be nice to your future self. And it's like trusting that you're going to make, in those, every decision that you make is going to be, I mean, not every decision, but every decision in like one of those pivotal situations where like, oh, should I raise my hand?
To you? Like,
yeah.
What's authentic to you? Like, yeah, I don't know. That's
you gotta do you. You gotta do
thing.
you. You do you.
Yeah.
Shout out to my roommate Sam Fazell at Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah,
he would always tell me, "You do you." He said, "You do you." Because I was like little like anxious, so I would like be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna go sleep or something," and be like, "You do you. You do you." I wanna know what's going on in that guy's head. Dude. He's a beast.
He's mentally.
He's tough. Yeah.
Tough dude.
He's a beast. He's an awesome guy.
He's all over there at CMU.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Sick, dude.
I love him. I love you, Sam. If you're gonna listen to this, I'm sending this to him after. I'll send it to him. But yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, what was it? Oh my gosh.
But I mean, I think one thing that we're both super interested in is the intersection of like technology. And mental health. Like, man, like technology
that was smooth, bro.
It's very pure in a sense where like there's always so much to learn. Like I think like, that machine learning class, dude, that's one thing that really like when I'm feeling hollow and then I take that fucking class, dude. Yeah. I feel very good. Like,
dude, that class is amazing.
And like I feel like just learning technology in a way is like it's such a beautiful thing. It's such an abstract world. Just a discussion we had today with the dimensions, bro. What the fuck was that about? Like
I love talking about this.
Like third, fourth, fifth. Like, it's such a weird thing. I don't even know why.
I love those things that are so weird.
Why do we find enjoyment in that? It's like not necessary to. It's just a weird thing. And then self-development, which is so close to us. Like everybody, and like I don't know. I feel like technology is gonna become a bigger and bigger aspect in our lives, and
I'm just glad that like it sucks being like kind of insecure, anxious about things or overthinking things, but it's so much better than being like complacent or like comfortable with where you are. I think it's so easy to get comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's when your life's like a flat line.
And you don't know. It's like it's all about like going to physics. This is like relativity, man. It like applies to everything. Like we're moving at ridiculous speeds, rotating around the Earth. Our galaxy is moving. Our Earth is moving through the solar system. We're moving so fast, but right now we don't know because around us we can't see that. If we go outside, maybe we'll start to see a little bit of movement. The astronomers saw that through the stars. But like, if you don't know that you're comfortable, if you don't know anything else, then you don't even know you're comfortable. Almost, it's like it's a weird like perception thing, and you don't know how to grow, and you'll just stay there. It's stagnant, and I think that's dangerous.
And I think growth is like inherently painful. Like,
yeah, it is.
I think one of my favorite like quotes or like ideas is by this Nietzsche, the philosopher. Dude, that guy's and he was like, his whole idea is that like suffering is like linked to pain, or linked to pleasure.
He's kind of a sick dude, isn't he? Like, yeah, he's got some interesting stuff. For sure,
a bit of he's a cool, a very intelligent guy. But I think when I read that was like I was reading that. I think I was reading some of his stuff like probably exactly a year ago right now, and like that really like changed my perspective on those moments too, of like.
Say that again. The quote.
It's not. I don't have the exact quote on me, but he was like. Basically, he was like, I wish the worst moments on my best friends because I know that those moments are gonna be the ones that give them the highest like highs, basically.
So, Ed, you want to join us?
We got our
come join us. Man. Join a this is a really good conversation.
Come on, buddy.
Join us.
We got Daniel Bia,
the smallest man alive, just walked into the room.
Mind yet. Hopefully we'll crack him up. Good audience. It's your boy.
Nice Tommy Hilfiger. Come sit on my lap, baby. What do you want for Christmas? Here, come, Ebrahim. Here, let's get another chair.
I can go get one.
Yeah, you wanna go grab one
right here? Or what?
I'll be here for about 5 minutes.
Grab one right there. You can be chilling. Okay. Yeah, let me just move this back a bit.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about random stuff right now, man. We're talking about dimensions, Nietzsche. I have another good Nietzsche quote.
Yeah, Nietzsche's a bad motherfucker.
He is. Isn't he like kind of cynical and like
I think
he's almost
like
bitter.
Was telling me about his life. Yeah, he was like.
Oh, I can see Neurot really.
He has like a terrible life. Interesting philosopher for sure. Sorry, dude.
No, I'm only gonna be here for like 5 minutes. 2 minutes max.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to get another chair.
Hey. We do.
Once this starts going
dude, you're not gonna be here for 2 minutes. You're gonna be here 2 times 2 million minutes.
I have to go ahead.
2 million.
Like right here?
Yeah, perfect. All right. Got another addition to the squad. How are you gonna see if that's gonna work?
Special guest for 2 minutes.
It's not good.
This is like the start of a horror movie, man. This is where paranormal activity starts. All right, we got you sitting in the. Okay, cool. We chilling. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So. Oh fuck. Like jungle gym over here. So let me just put these in the middle. These are supposed to be on ambient because they're like circular. So I think we don't have to like talk directly in them.
Okay, sure.
But don't you feel like legit talking to one of these?
These are very cool.
I feel
So let me hit some bars right now.
We'll be back to the rap battle we have.
Come at me, bro. Okay. Well,
So
that
Daniel,
was cringe.
Daniel, you are a fascinating man, my friend. Tell us about your passion to videography. Why do you like it so much?
He's
honestly, like what?
Beast.
Like you're very like you've talked about videography.
You really like it. I think you
Yeah.
found something that you really like. And
What is it about?
Do you really like it? Like, sorry,
It's
one
like-
of us should be asking. We're just interrogating this man.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of a weird feeling when you like when you make videos. It's like it's like capturing every moment of your life, which is like the highlights of your life. Like when you look back at a video, the negative stuff isn't there. Like everything you look at is positive, and it's a great way of like looking at past experiences. Like when you look at it, the audience knows, like they see like a highlight of your life, but like, you know, as yourself, you know, like some stuff that you've been through, like the crazy experiences to get those clips. Like only you know that, and I think that's so interesting. Like when you're editing, when you're picking that out, it's so sick to know, like, oh, like, you know, to get to this spot, we had to like walk through like crazy like bush and like jungle, and it's like climb a cliff or whatever to get there. Like no one else knows that because like only us do. And I think that's so amazing. Like when you shoot videos and like when you create videos, like you create highlights of like your life, and I think that's like
You're good at this. You got a good voice for this.
Yeah,
But
That's a good. I feel like the videos really like contain memories of like experiences you share with people that you're really close with.
yeah, it's like finding shots is like so. It's like art, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Every time you like go outside, you find a shot that is like that just fits an image, like just fits there, and you know, like it's cool putting together different pieces, and like it's like a puzzle. You know?
Is. It's like a whole piece. Like, do you try to like evoke like emotions from people when you're making your videos? Like, do you think of your audience kind of like do you piece it together as like a story? I mean, you do. Yeah, obviously you're gonna make a story, or else it's just gonna not make any sense. But
it's like every video has its own mood. Like when you create a video, you like think of a mood. Like everything goes in like the color grading that goes into it, and the music. Everything affects, like you choose a mood and like a theme, and you just go along. It could be like travel. It can be like memories, whatever it wants. Like anything, just it has to follow like one specific.
Yeah.
Do you remember there being like a moment where like you really became, because you are like very into like what was there like a moment where you're like, okay, this is what I might want to do with my life, like what were those like times like where
Help
like,
me
you were
find
thinking
my
about
passion.
that?
I want to find something, bro.
Actually, that one time we went to Big Sur.
Dude, that was
like,
so
Really?
fun.
So not too long
Like,
ago then.
I actually just did an experiment at
spontaneous
Stanford,
trips.
and they made me like write about this, like write like one exciting moment and like the most exciting moment. And it was that like
honored.
what was cool about like traveling like that and shooting videos is like complete freedom. Like we could stop wherever we wanted.
Yeah.
Like we can just pick this part along the road,
Free will.
go in, and like you just do whatever you want.
So
like
cool.
you're not limited to like a space. You're not limited to a schedule kind of thing.
Fucking explore the world. Dude.
Yeah, you can do whatever
Dude,
you want. Just
So
live it.
nice.
Yeah, and capture it.
Such a good context switch from school.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I think that just stopped again. Can you just push the record button?
Yeah, and I gotta go edit.
Okay. Well, that was really cool, and we're gonna have you on the show again,
Yeah,
sir.
all right. I'll see you guys
And
later.
we're gonna talk about the Big Sur
Where's
trip
the battery
Yeah.
pack?
because I think that's really important.
Oh,
Where you should no, because it did that last time.
Just change the battery pack.
Oh shit. Just turn it off. We'll just do this. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. All right, the video camera just died, so we're just gonna go with voice. God, can we keep going? I'm
Yeah, I'm
loving
down,
this, dude.
man.
I'm
This is
loving it. This is I'm just. Oh my god.
Oh,
I think we're gotten to the point. I was really tired earlier, but we got to the point where we're like so tired that you're delirious. Have you gotten to that point? Oh my gosh! In high school, I used to like, I did not care about sleep at all, and I used to, I cared about it, but like I liked it. It was fun, but like, I didn't take care of myself and sleep enough, and like. The first day that I didn't like it, I would get like 4 hours sleep. The next day I would be like so tired, and then I'd do it again, get another 4 hours sleep or 3 hours sleep, and I'd be really tired. Then the third day or something, the third or fourth day, I would like get second wind, get this like boost of energy, and be like super like I would not care about anything.
Yeah.
You know, like not even I wouldn't worry about these social situations. I would just like be
I'm
really
totally,
giddy and like really
It's a
laughing
weird,
at
yeah,
random
it's
stuff. I was like
giddiness.
high.
Yeah, it's like a deliriousness.
I've never been
almost.
high, so I wouldn't know how that feels. But sorry.
Yeah, but just one thing you were saying that I think those little moments of building trust. I think that's one thing that I was like. I think for me, those moments are like being more organized, or like as trivial as that sounds, like like dressing better.
Yeah.
Like I think that's something that I really want to improve on. I feel like when you dress nice, you feel good. When you're like organized, when your car is clean, and like when you look good, and when you know where your wallet is or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, for a while, my mind was always focused on the big things. It was like, okay, like I need to go to Starbucks and work because I need to become the best in the world. Something. So like I'm not gonna go to like this is what I would think. I'm not gonna go to my DMV appointment.
So
I'm not gonna go to my dentist appointment.
Yeah.
But now I found a lot of satisfaction in making my dentist appointment and just
the small things.
I feel like a very like structured sense of like or like even dressing a bit nicer and like and like making sure like I'm clean shaved. Like what I'm trying to get better at it. It is what it is. I don't get to like your guys' level, whatever. But like stuff like returning my library book at the right time. Like, dude, I used to not give a fuck about my library book, but like now I still don't like. But like I'm trying to like make it so like I like that. I like a little bit of structure. Like,
I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean.
Keeping it like.
You gotta start small. You gotta build out the small things, so then you're slowly.
It builds.
That's
like arriving on time to class.
Totally.
Like it just feels good to like arrive.
Last quarter, it just feels good. I mean, the only reason it feels good is because I've not arrived. I've been super late, and that feels bad. So it's like relative. Like you know, like you don't want to be there, so it feels good that you're like improving on that. I think growth in general feels really good. So once amazing. you show up to class on time, the whole quarter you feel really good. Last quarter, oh my gosh, I was so bad. I'm sorry, Mrs. Lee, Debbie Lee, really good math professor, Math 1C. I highly recommend taking her. But I was so late to her class almost every single day. I'll be like 30 minutes late. It wasn't even like, it was kind of like waking up with that hollow feeling. I would wake up with that hollow feeling. I had a 10 o'clock class, so it wasn't even that early. I would wake up at like 8:30, give myself plenty of time. I would sometimes plan to do a workout or just eat a nice breakfast, chill out before I go to class. Wake up at 8:30, maybe not be feeling super good, and just like stare at my phone for like 2 hours. And then it'd be like 10:30, I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta go to class. Or no, I wouldn't even think that. I would just be like, oh, I got class. I should probably go. Like, I'm gonna be a little bit late. Like, never mind. I wouldn't even think about that. I wouldn't even like stress about that. Like, I didn't care really. And then I would go in the shower and then go to class and show up at like 10:30, 10:45 or something. And I just, I would walk in and it was just bad. And then one day, I didn't even feel bad for like the longest time. And then one day I kept doing that, and then I would snooze like three. I always set 3 alarms because I sleep through alarms and stuff. I set them like 10:27, 10:33, 10:35. And like I would snooze and then set another triplet of alarms like 10 minutes later, and then do that again and again, do that like 3 or 4 times.
All the time, bro.
And I would like wake up and do that, and then it got to a point where I like could do that in my sleep almost. It was super weird. Yeah. And like, certain days, not every day, but like certain days, if I was really tired, I wake up in like REM sleep or something. You're like groggy, half awake. Yeah. So I didn't even realize I turned them off, and like one day I forgot to turn them back on.
And you just overslept.
And I overslept, and it was a midterm day.
Oh fuck.
And so I was like, oh my god, I woke up at like 10, so I didn't even wake up that late. So the class had started, but I was like freaking out, and I emailed her like right away. I was like, I just woke up, like, what should I do? Should I come in now and take it, or should I take it another day? And she was like super nice, super supportive.
Damn,
and I lucked out. And there was another class. I know, dude. I'm just glad I knew her because I like participated in stuff. The next class,
you took the midterm.
Yeah, there's like it was on a Wednesday, and then Thursday morning there's another midterm. So I woke up and I set like 20 alarms that day, dude. I did not want to sleep through that. Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
I think that's just going back to the whole momentum thing. Like we joke about this a lot, the whole calendar thing. But like it does like.
Are you an entrepreneurship?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, I fucked the
young
joke
budding
up. I totally fucked the joke up. Are you an entrepreneur?
But like I think like going back to like that the whole it builds like a certain amount of like organization in your life, and like I don't know, like it's just a good feeling when like you're on the ball with those little things, and then those little things, those little decisions that you do right every day, then you can go into a social interaction with freedom of mind.
Yeah.
If you lose your wallet, I hate I lose my credit card and I'm just like I'm thinking about that. I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody, so I can't really have a conversation.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then
just like little things that hinder.
You don't have that.
Hinder your ability.
So for me, it's like you know what I've been thinking about? I'm gonna put like an hour on like Saturday mornings to just make sure everything's in place.
That's
so, like,
really smart.
If my car isn't clean, I'm gonna clean my car. I'm just gonna set that hour aside. If I need to like go do any little errand, errands. Errands. Yeah,
I
was
ran.
like, I'm just gonna
I
do
like
all
that.
those little errands
Yeah.
in that hour.
Sorry.
And then
I
like,
laughed.
yeah, it's all good. And then I'll have more. You'll have more time for the bigger stuff, for like doing that machine learning course or whatever you want to do. If you just get all that little cluttery stuff out of the way.
Yeah, totally.
Just put some time. And like my mom's been helping me a ton with this, but like
That's huge.
I've been trying
that's
to
like
get
really.
better.
That's smart
I
to
think
do.
just
Put
like,
aside like a
just like a little
designated time
exactly.
once per week or something, once per day, and just like organize stuff. Because I'm doing the calendar thing too.
Yeah, that's what, I learned.
I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. That's why. But and like.
Kevin,
I'm just kidding, but I actually want to be kind of, but like, yeah, shout out to Kevin. But like, yeah, but like sometimes I find myself like, you know, doing my homework and then I'll like think like, oh, I need to add something to my calendar. I'll like stress over it for a little bit, but I'll add it to my calendar, so that saves some stress. But yeah, like having that designated time to like organize your calendar, clean up your room, that type of thing. It's super big. Another one of the habits I've started to do is making my bed. I read it on Quora too. Like, if you make your bed, you just feel neat. Every time you walk in your room, you feel good. It's like a very subtle feeling, and it's kind of like fluffy, but like, it really helps. It really does to be neat. And like, I still kind of have this thing in my room. It's like a chair drobe. It's like a chair where I put all my clothes on it. And it's not good. And so like, I need to get back on this actually. This is a check for me. But yeah, like when my mom still does my laundry, I'm spoiled. But like when my mom does my laundry, she'll put it on the chair drobe, like on the top of it, and there's like a mountain of clothes underneath. But I'll take the folded laundry and I'll put it in every time I walk in my room, I'll put like a little bit of it in my drawers, like put it away, because I used to like let it pile up and I would just like grab shirts from that clean pile of laundry. And so like by the time like third time I walk in my door right after she's done a load, it'll be gone, and then so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And like, it used to be before I'd like pile it up and then they'll get unfolded and then I'll take a shirt off, put it back on the pile, and then it'd just become like this giant mess, and like it'd be super hard to refold it and put it back in.
Yeah, it's such a like a weird thing.
God,
you would think that if you didn't give a fuck about the little things, you would have more time for the bigger things that you wanted. Yeah. But it just like you were saying, like I think it's very similar to like you taking that cold shower every day, because it's like it's almost a representation that your life is under control. Yeah. And that like it's almost like a rock. It's like a rock for you.
It's a representation for you.
For some reason, your brain needs those rocks of like your life is kind of under control. And then I don't know, you're more solid that way. Whereas if you're
it's like for yourself, like it's just like you like it's just like you're setting an example for yourself. Like that's what one thing also, like if when I'm not feeling good, or even when I'm feeling good, like I try to ask myself a lot, like what would the best version of myself do? What would the best person do? You know, and you know, if I'm like, oh, like simple things like holding the door open for people, and those things add up, and you start to feel better about yourself. Like it's fun to like connect with people and be nice to people, because it gives you that like that feel good stuff. Yeah. Mr. Dunbar used to always say like,
he's a super
fascinating dude, awesome guy, really good guy, really good mentor. I love
he thought about physics, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I love how he was like, he really like, if you want to get students interested about physics, he would like correlate to happiness. Like every time you solve this physics problem, you get some feel good juice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why would you not want to do physics,
glad
bro?
you finished that. Oh, like, that's amazing.
It's the secret to happiness.
We just connected. Yeah. I'm gonna cry. But yeah,
but Dunbar, super cool.
Cool guy.
I think unique guys like that.
I love him. Quirky and does himself. He does himself, dude. He does him. Sam Fazell,
very like little like social like.
Totally.
Similar. I don't know how to say it, but like he's not. The
idiosyncrasies.
Forces of society haven't made him into this box of a person.
Idiosyncrasies. He's got his like little things that he does, and he does them really well, and that's him.
I love that in people.
And he's authentic. Yeah, I love that. It's funny, like the things that we remember. You know what I mean? Like remember the feel good juices thing. I remember like.
I know I remember.
I totally remember that, because I never correlated that, but like even when I did like a problem correctly, I get the feel good juice, and I never.
It's like a little challenge.
I never thought about that. I never appreciated that juice.
It's a beautiful juice.
It's a beautiful juice. It's a tasty juice. Oh my gosh! But yeah, like I remember one of my really good intern friends, awesome guy, Matt Coppola. Probably never gonna listen to this because he's Canadian and he probably doesn't like my voice, but not that he's Canadian. Was that racist?
That's a bit racist.
Okay, well, he doesn't like America, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to stop digging myself a hole here. But yeah, he's a beast. He's an awesome guy. He works really hard, really commits himself to everything he does. And like really, he was a great worker. Like he would always engage himself in it. I remember like he would take breaks and like go walk outside. if like he knew like when he needed to take a break, he was like frustrated about debugging a piece of code or something. He was on the embedded team in Nest too, or the communications team. So very tedious code, very tedious work, very low level. So he would get, obviously like everyone gets frustrated coding. So whenever he got frustrated, he would recognize that and he would take a walk.
It's a beautiful word.
And then there's like this
Like that
Bridget
10-second
Nest.
thing we talked
Yeah,
about.
and he would like
Unwind
think about
it,
it.
yeah.
And he would like think about the problem and just like kind of like take some
Reflect.
totally reflect on it and just like totally just like chill out. Or we go play ping pong or pool or something, or not pool, foosball. He's so good at foosball, by the way. He would whoop me at foosball. I'm not very good. But anyways, I remember we were at Lake Tahoe once for like a trip with a bunch of interns, and we would like banter a lot. He's really fun to like roast, and like he would roast me too, and like we had like a good bond, good thing going. But he's in Canada now. But like yeah, and he like said something, reply like Sean, like the way he thought, he's a funny guy. He'd be like, I run a tight ship, man. Sean, I run a tight ship. And like that, I just like remember that, like I run a tight ship. Like he just has like control over his life. Like he does the little things right. And like I just remember that because I was like, damn, I don't really run a tight ship. It's like I need to start running a tight ship. Like all the aspects of my life, got to keep that stuff tidy. Yeah.
That's really important. Fuck, I was gonna say something, but it totally slipped my mind.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
What were
Oh,
we talking
stuff
about?
popping in my mind that I forget.
You're talking about.
I was talking about taking breaks, reflecting 10 seconds. Before that, was it before that?
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I interviewed for the blog I was doing. I interviewed some like Stanford philosophy.
What was it, blog? So we can give it a quick plug.
Sure.
Thinking Blueprint. Right?
No, Ideas Silicon Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went and interviewed a Stanford like philosophy professor.
You did?
Yeah, and I was like super excited.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then
you just emailed him?
Yeah, I just emailed him, and
That's
I was
awesome.
like, I was really excited to like understand like this guy's basically dedicated his life into like a subject that's about living life well.
Oh my god, I love that, dude.
So
That's why I want to do philosophy.
Yeah, I was like very fascinated in like what he would say and stuff, and I was like, so like a lot of people think philosophy is esoteric, like almost
pretentious or something.
I mean, like, and it does come off like that a lot to philosophy. A lot of it's like very.
It does come across.
Yeah,
but like,
I totally understand where he's coming from.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but and then I was like, what would you say to people who like like haven't delved into philosophy, but like, like what's one message philosophy can almost give to people? And he was like, it's a pretty simple one, but he's like, just reflecting.
That's a really good question.
Yeah. And he's like, what philosophy's done for me is just reflecting on my life. He's like, I don't feel like people take enough time in their day to just go out and just reflect on what's going on. Yeah. And like that's one thing that he had, and like kind of goes back to what you were saying with like your Nest coworker, like just going out and just like thinking about it and like and then I feel like that's all something I think you should set some time aside for. I think going out in nature is a perfect way to do that. Yeah. I try to do that a little bit today. Like just go out a little bit by yourself and just
I saw that.
Reflect on your life.
So important.
And like I think meditation's like a kind of related to that as well.
Oh my gosh, I love meditation. I need to get back into it. I was really.
I'll make sure.
Yeah. Never mind. I was really big. I took this class called Positive Psychology. Just button it. Oh yeah, Mr. Habib at Gunn High School. Junior
How was
year,
that? I really want.
It was amazing, dude. It was like life changing. I needed it so bad. I wish it was longer. Oh god, it's just like it opened my eyes up to like, cause I was like pretty insecure before that. I keep saying this, but like, it was like a big part of my life. Like I worried about it a lot. Yeah, but like. I'm drawing a lot of attention to that, but no, like so I took this class, positive psychology. I signed up for it.
To see, like, what is it about, really?
It's about like the whole premise of it's like a new field, positive psychology. So it was like teaching about the field kind of thing and teaching it how to apply it to your life. So like there's like you can major in like clinical psychology or something, and the big thing with like psychologists, the main thing that they kind of do, and I may be completely wrong, and this may be complete bullshit, but this is how Mr. Habib explained it. So I'm going to put the blame on him. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, from what I remember, normal psychology is diagnosing what's wrong with you. Positive psychology is diagnosing what's good with you, the positives that you have, and building off of those. And maybe identifying some weaknesses, but using your positives to build off them. So it's like taking a whole nother stance on it, right? Different perspective, looking at it from the positive side. Not saying, like, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're insecure, you're unconfident, we got to fix that. It's saying, like, wow, you're actually really good with people, or you're a really nice person, or maybe you're a little too hard on yourself, so let's be a little bit more compassionate. So it's like
super interesting.
It's honestly, positive psychology for me was like personal philosophy. So it's like learning how to reflect, learning how to build these little habits that are going to make you feel better, learning how to just be a better person, learning how to have a better outlook, learning how to change your perspective, change your attitudes, break little bad habits that you have through micro habits, like all sorts of things. So a big thing that we started doing, the thing that I think had the most impact on me, so the class met 4 times a week throughout the whole semester, right? The whole first semester, I think, of my junior year. And we meditated every single day. And we started with like meditating for 10 seconds. Then we moved it up to 30, then 1 minute. And then eventually we were meditating for like 15 minutes. And like, obviously if you don't take it seriously, you're not going to learn. So I like really tried to take it seriously because I was like, I need something in my life. And like by the time the end of the semester came around, I could like focus on my breath. Like 15 minutes would fly by in like a second. That's crazy. And I would feel like refreshed. And I wouldn't even know the time. It was so weird.
Do you recommend that?
And I wouldn't think about anything.
Do you recommend building up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I've tried to just start 10, 15 minutes.
You could get really like stressed out.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Like really jittery. Yeah. You got to like start small.
15 seconds.
Yeah, just like focusing on your breathing. There's a lot of like really good guided he started with just like guiding meditation for us. Awesome. Meditation, if you like overthink it, you can get like really like frustrated with yourself, and I think it's important to just like start small. I'm not even an expert in I've tried to like start it again like this past year, and it's like been kind of hard.
I think you meditate while you're doing things. I'm sure like you're still good at soccer, like maybe you hit that flow zone.
Flow, it's very similar to meditation.
Like
totally.
Sometimes I go longboarding late at night, and like it's like a very chill. Like I hit up Palo Verde back when I used to live in my when I was close to Palo Verde. They had that hella smooth pavement, and I would hit that dude, and it would be like midnight or whatever, and I would just it would be meditation for me. Like I wouldn't think about shit.
Totally.
It's just that like I remember Lucas Dorwood was saying it about running when you're just focusing on one foot coming. It's weird how those repetitive motions.
Shout out to Lukey.
Yeah, shout out to him. We should get him on, dude.
We should get him on.
Fascinating dude too.
Awesome guy.
We should
very big on this type of stuff too.
Yeah, dude, I'd be so interested to hear what like Lucas has to say. He seems like one of those unique people as well.
Yeah, definitely. Very unique.
Who kind of lives his life the way he wants.
He does him. He does him.
Yeah.
It's important.
Super cool. But I think there's like I'm sure like when you're juggling in soccer or like when you're dribbling those cones.
Totally know what you mean.
I feel like that's one of the allures of
very
sports.
Similar to meditation.
Allure of sports. Allure of nature. Mm-hmm. Nature is constantly in the present. I was listening to this podcast. We can. Let me know whenever you want to wrap it up.
No, I just saw you kept looking over there. I was wondering if you were like.
But like he was like, nature. I think we were listening to this together, right? This.
Yeah.
We're like, he was like, I don't know if you were in the car with me. I probably kicked you out.
Oh my gosh! Probably didn't invite me in the first place.
But he was like, like nature like is so in the present. Like if her cub, not a mother cub, it would be a mother bear.
Whoa, man! Babies be breeding. Oh my gosh.
If a mother bear had her cub eaten, then like she would give a fuck for like a minute, and then she would go on with it. Like you know what I mean? Like
probably a little longer than that.
No,
like a mother cub.
I mean
bear. You gotta be saying mother cub.
You don't see like a bear sulking. You're not gonna see a bear being depressed.
They're not gonna mope around, but they'll be like sad. They'll probably like wail and be really angry or something. They're like the primal.
For the purpose of this,
probably going like a rampage. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to tear
Yeah, but I think in general, nature is like very in the present moment.
Yeah.
And when you go, or like sports too. Dude, I had with one of my favorite people of all time, Ark Singh's dad, coolest dude ever. But we had this.
Ark Singh's dad.
Yeah, he's super intelligent guy. Cool. We had this debate over like whether schools should prioritize language or sports, and I was big on sports.
Yeah.
And I think sports is so important because it gives you that feeling of like. Of primal feeling, that feeling of comfort, that feeling of being in the present, like when you score a goal in soccer, like you've done probably once or twice in your entire career.
It's amazing. You don't care about anything. You're not worrying about whether someone likes you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love.
Live in the emotion.
Yeah, like I'm sure when you go out to a game, you're not like all your other problems like dissolve in a way, right? So you're in that like insane like little. Like,
you are.
What is that thing,
I think
bro?
playing devil's advocate, going with like Ark Singh's dad, I think I totally agree with you that sports should be incorporated, but I think it's not all inclusive, and I think some people would be excluded, right? Because some people it's just not them. But I totally agree. Sports are freaking amazing, dude. They're so good for you, especially team sports are big. I mean, even individual team sports and individual sports. have so many good, their own little positive benefits. Individual, like you're relying on yourself. You become, probably helps with confidence. Team sports, you're working with other people, helps with social skills, helps with staying committed, doing your part, like really just being part of something bigger than just yourself, which is like a great feeling. Winning something as a team is amazing, I think. I mean, I haven't really done that many individual sports or combat. I think combat sports are amazing. That's like that's how you transcend, man. I need to start. That's what I'm thinking. Like a lot of these entrepreneur guys and these CEOs, they meditate, they do combat sports. Like that seems like a very close combination.
I think we're super interested in we're super into school and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that connection with the body and that connection with
you got to be taught that in class.
I don't think you should like let that go ever. Like the body can make you feel like all the experiences you can have with the body, whether it's like physical or sexual, like whatever it is. Like there's like something about a hard workout or like those experiences they're very like, interesting to me. Like,
so interesting.
And I feel like I was taught like Nina in our class. She's really into working out. Like that's one of the things. Like I think a lot of people use working out as a way to, like improve their mental health.
Totally. Oh my gosh.
It's such like I feel like no study of the mind can be done without a study of the body. Like just neuronic stuff. Like they're so like if your body's like not if you don't have a healthy body, man, it's so hard to have a healthy mind.
There's multiple studies on tons of studies I think on like connecting working out to like helping people get out of depression. And remember Julia Madge, Lindsay's older sister? She actually told me when I was like having a tough time at CMU, she said like she took some time off from school too, I think. And she said it was like one of the most the most rewarding one of the best things that she's ever done, like one of the best decisions that she's ever made. And she was like trying to like to take time off from school. I'm gonna get to the Sorry. No, my bad. But it was a little unclear. But like, she was like trying to. I was like had this stigma like I don't want to leave. no one else is doing it. She's trying to break down that stigma for me. So she was encouraging me that it was okay, but that I should make my own decision. But she said she wrote a paper. She sent me the paper actually. She sent me the paper that like working out. It was for some Stanford class. I think that working out can help cure depression. And I don't remember the details of it, but I remember reading it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I totally believe it's true. And I think it's, the mind-body connection is huge. I think also in school, we're just not taught to like, I think a big thing that I didn't have in high school was like, like reflecting on myself, anything to do with like learning about myself and being more aware of like my emotions and like learning how to connect my emotions to like solutions and not like mope around like was just totally not there for me.
That as a society?
We need to learn that as society and as a school. That needs to be like part of the curriculum. Like I didn't have like a healthy sense of ego, like obviously you don't want to have too much ego, but you need a healthy level of ego. I was like below the level of ego, and I just like I could fake it, but like a lot of times I just didn't like myself. Like I hated myself at times. It was bad. Like I actually hated myself. And it was weird. Like there's no reason for me to do that. No one should hate themselves. Everyone's got their own unique things that they do really well, or their own unique way of thinking that they can offer to the world. And
I think as a society we fail to bring our kids into this. Maybe it's because we think life is easy now. Now that we live it, it's not. Life is extremely difficult.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And if we're sending our kids out into these like, I've talked to you about this a little bit. Like the whole principle of like antinatalism. I told you my cousin like kind of believes it's unethical to have kids. Even you might not agree with that. I certainly don't. You can learn something.
Say that one more time because you said it kind of fast. So, I think that's like a big
I was rapping a little bit.
Yeah, you were in a flow there. That's called flow state. Everyone, meditation.
But antinatalism, it's like the idea that it's unethical to have kids because life contains suffering, and.
I'm sorry. I should have. You were flowing.
No. And so it's basically the idea that it's unethical to have kids because life contains suffering. And it's almost like the best way for me to describe it is that it's like giving somebody a medicine that has a 1% chance of like really causing bad side effects and maybe like a 99% chance of curing
You wouldn't
them.
do it.
But like you don't have the authority, you don't have the consent of the person. And like you definitely don't have to agree with it. But I think one of the interesting points that this whole like philosophy brings up is like how difficult life is, how many people go through life like not enjoying it, and like as a society we should be doing the best we can to really prepare our, because those are our kids, like they're gonna be the leaders of society. We need to make sure they're having a good time here, like ahead of math, ahead of history, we need to be making sure that they know how to deal when they're going through a rough patch. we needed to, you know, show them why, like PE for example, like so many kids don't like PE.
Yeah.
But like you could, why don't you like teach the kid how important it is to like why if like just like it feels good to work out like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
Like
true.
don't force it upon them.
Like
Make
really
them,
teach them.
like,
Don't just make a
yeah.
PowerPoint slide saying like
Yeah.
working out leads to less stress.
Yeah,
You know, really
exactly.
teach them.
Really, like if you
Through
believe
experience,
it,
I don't know. Yeah.
if you believe
Gotta
it,
be
bro, and you
passionate.
tell somebody,
Yeah.
then they might start believing that shit.
Totally. Oh, I had something, but I kind of lost it. Oh man, what were we talking about before
We're talking
antinatalism?
about so we're talking about working out a little bit,
Working
like
out.
leaving college,
Oh,
like
good
hating yourself, a lot, like stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
Pain is weakness leaving the body. Oh, well, that's like the Marine thing. Sorry, that was a really loud. My bad if I hurt anyone's ears. But no, I just remember the Nietzsche. I didn't remember what I was gonna say. The Nietzsche quote.
Yeah, sure.
One has to know the size of their stomach.
What is that?
Cause like you don't want to overeat, man. You don't want to like throw up.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I'm really sorry.
I'm really tired,
I'm
man.
just kidding,
No,
I'm
it's
kidding.
because like you gotta know yourself. That's what it is. You gotta know the size of your stomach. You gotta know what you can take, what you can't take, and you gotta know how to increase the size of your stomach, maybe, or get a gastrosection. I'm just kidding. Okay,
Powerful Nietzsche.
powerful Nietzsche, a wonderful man. But yeah, I think like biggest thing is like you gotta know yourself. You gotta have that sense of self.
Drake said that.
You know what sense of self?
Know
Like,
yourself.
like it's not even just like Drake did say. Another powerful man, wonderful man. I love you, Joe, man. You're my friend, Joe Rogan. Listen to his podcast. I think we should wrap it
We
up.
should give him
I'm like, I
We
can't.
should give Joe a
take it
shout
out.
out before we leave though. Just so
Yeah, we should.
So if you guys like this, make sure you check out our Joe Rogan. The young
He's our
buddy.
partner podcast. Actually, he's our. Yeah, we're his understudies. Hopefully,
All right.
Joe
It's
here
been a
is.
great time.
Yeah, it's been a great time. This has been episode 4 of Owlcast,
How
the
long was
Foothill
this, by the
unofficial
way?
podcast
If you
with the
like
unofficial
this
name.
podcast, give us some suggestions.
Please-
We had a
please
great
give us some
suggestion
topic
from Samar
suggestions.
Feghhi. We're definitely gonna implement that at some
Who
point.
is Smart Feghhi? I just
Who
know
is
she's
she?
amazing.
Amazing.
She's a
young
beautiful
female.
young woman with a beautiful mind
Smart. Thank you for the
and a
comment.
beautiful brother
Thanks
with
for showing.
wonderful pajamas.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah,
Um,
for all those who listened. Please share with your friends or
yeah,
something.
please
I don't know.
share it.
I like
Should we
if
share
you
on
want to
Facebook
speak
or
on this
not?
too and you go to Foothill,
yeah.
just hit me up or hit Ebrahim up. Like we want as many people to speak on this. Right now, like we've been doing a lot of the
Follow me on
episodes, but
Instagram,
okay.
John JM.
I'm gonna have to censor that. Oh wait, that was my Instagram handle. You can keep going.
Follow me on Instagram at
Sean underscore MacP.
Sean underscore MacP.
I'm just kidding. No, don't do it.
Don't do it actually. All right.
Nobody don't do. I'm on Team Followback though.
Team follow back.
All right, episode 4 of Owlcast, Foothill's unofficial podcast with the unofficial name. I think that should be our slogan.
That could be our thing, like the Eddie, like
Peace out.
handyman with no hands.
Oh my
Unofficial
gosh,
podcast.
handyman with no hands. That was